Welcome to Madrid, the capital city of Spain, on a picture-perfect day. Two teams left standing for a FIBA World Title, the championship game between Serbia and Team USA. Kevin Connors, Fran Fraschilla, thrilled to be with you. Two very different paths to this title game for these two teams, Fran.
United States has dominated their first 8 opponents. Serbia, however, in the last 3 games against quality teams, has been playing outstanding, scoring margin of +17.
Moments ago, our Mark Stein spoke with Derrick Rose.
It doesn't happen often like this back home, where we get a one-game scenario where your team is such a big favorite. You know there's going to be a lot of criticism on the other side if you guys don't deliver. What's it like to carry all of that onto the court?
No, it's no pressure at all. We know what we have to do, and we know when we get out there that it's one goal, and that's to go out there and win the game by any means. We know that we play well together. We just got to come out aggressive in the first half and try to put them away.
Thanks, Derrick.
Now, Derrick Rose and Team USA eyeing its second straight FIBA World Championship. Fran, the heartbeat of this Serbian team is Milos Teodosic.
He will get the brunt of Team USA's defensive coverage early, but don't discount Stefan Markovic. Gives them that other ball handler with which to take off the pressure.
6 U.S. players come into this game averaging in double figures, but the key today may well be the defense of Kyrie Irving.
Well, I think he's going to start on Teodosic. There'll be a couple people that get a piece of him, including Klay Thompson, but I look for Irving to get him early.
62 consecutive wins for Team USA in international competition. Fran Fraschilla, your keys to the game.
Coach Djordjevic has been studying Team USA. I believe they'll go at Harden and Curry early. And Team USA, interestingly, was built to guard inside, but Serbia's big guy sets every ball screen.
And the head coach of Serbia, Sasa Djordjevic, maybe raising some eyebrows before the game, saying until they show us for 40 minutes, they, meaning Team USA, are the better team. I am not going to say they are the better team.
Serbia is very proud of its basketball tradition, and they are relishing this moment today. The country has 7 million people. Basketball is extremely important to the culture.
FIBA eyeing its first World Cup medal since 2002. We know they will do that. Of course, for Team USA, a shot at its 5th FIBA World Cup gold medal. The winner of this game gets the lone automatic bid to the Rio Olympics. The officials in this game from Canada, France, and Ukraine. Team USA has not lost in this tournament. Every win coming by at least 20 points. Serbia, something of an upset pick to get to this championship game. Anthony Davis will jump it up with Miroslav Radulica, and the championship game of the FIBA World Cup of basketball is underway.
Serbia is virtually all man-to-man.
Kenneth Faried, free throw line jumper, breaks the ice.
They want to give him that shot, and he stepped up and made it. Now for Serbia, keep your eye on the 5-man Radulica, because he sets every ball screen.
Nice feed from Teodosic to Nikola Kalinic.
Remember, Kevin, Team USA was built to guard the Gasols in the final. Coach K kept the big guys on this roster, but today Davis and Cousins are going to have to defend pick and roll 25 feet away from the basket.
Brad, what's the objective offensively for Team USA?
Spread the floor, attack with your athleticism, get stops on defense, and get a transition game going.
Here is Kalinic. How about Serbia offensively? What do they want to do?
They are as good as any team in FIBA in this tournament at spreading you out with 5 defenders.
Teodosic turns it over, and then he's called for the foul on Anthony Davis. The team comparisons, and it goes without saying, Team USA is the overwhelming favorite.
Well, they are. They have blitzed every opponent, much like we expected when this tournament started. Serbia, don't be fooled by 2 and 3. They're playing their best. Teodosic was hurt early with an ankle issue. He's playing his best basketball right now.
Anthony Davis, elbow jumper off the mark.
I think if you coach Djordjevic, you don't mind Faried and Davis shooting those jumpers early. Now watch the red shirts and how much they extend Team USA away from the basket.
All the way to the basket is Teodosic.
Take a look now. They do a terrific job of making Team USA, at least they'll try to today, defend side to side, and that's going to open up the driving lanes for Teodosic. Team USA trying to run some half-court offense. They haven't been able to get into it yet. Serbia has switched well on the perimeter.
Here's Harden drawing a foul and an opportunity to complete the three-point play.
Well, James Harden has done this all tournament. If you give him a crack, he's hard to keep out of the lane, and he's also very good at initiating contact with the defender.
Foul called on Nikola Kalinic. His first second-team foul on Serbia. James Harden, 13.1 points per game for Team USA in this tournament. And the U.S. regains the lead.
Watch, Kevin. Markovic brings it up sometimes, and it's just then to get the ball. Nice inside. Good execution early.
Miroslav Radulica plays his pro ball. At least he did last season in the NBA with the Milwaukee Bucks.
You don't want to give Serbia offensive confidence early in the game.
Here's Faried, too strong, and the rebound to Markovic.
Markovic handling the ball takes the pressure off of Teodosic.
Whistle and a foul, and I think they got Steph Curry for the hold.
Curry and Harden have been in foul trouble. I talked to some coaches who talked to Coach Kozlowskis and the Lithuanian coaches. Their game plan was to go at Harden and Curry early. Same thing with Coach Djordjevic.
And off the set inbound, they'll get James Harden on the push. So 2 team fouls for each one of the teams. And you said that the guards for Team USA, Fred, need to stay out of foul trouble.
Well, they do. And I also think these 3 officials will call a lot of fouls early to try to keep control of this game.
And on cue, yet another foul.
Yep.
And that's on Anthony Davis, and that is the second foul on Davis.
This is exactly the script that Coach Djordjevic wanted. Watch Davis. He's going to hold Radulica across the lane. Now, Cousins is going to have to defend pick and roll away from the basket.
Did a good job that time on Teodosic. Down to 5 to shoot. Along the baseline, there's Bjelica throwing it in.
This is not a surprise early, the way Serbia has spread the court.
Cousins, good position down low, but he missed a chip shot. Bjelica in the paint all the way, and Serbia out to a 5-point lead.
We've seen this kind of defense from Team USA from time to time. Not focused, too many breakdowns.
A whistle and a foul, and they call it on Bjelica, I believe. Fred, Derrick Rose said no pressure for Team USA coming in. Do you believe that?
No, I really don't. We saw Spain crack under the pressure of being at home. And what you have to do if you're Team USA is stay focused, because Serbia's job in a game like this as the overwhelming underdog is to just play 5 minutes at a time and stay close. Get into the third quarter with a chance to win and put the pressure on Team USA to crack a little bit. Think Patriots Giants in the Super Bowl when the Patriots came in undefeated.
Well, they have just called a foul on DeMarcus Cousins. That is now 3 fouls drawn on USA bigs by Miroslav Radulica in the first 3 minutes and 16 seconds of this game. Timeout on the floor. Serbia out to the 5-point lead. Kevin Connors, Fran Fraschilla, delighted to be with you. Serbia, the 5-point lead early on. Before we went to break, they changed the foul. It's on Kenneth Faried, so the first, but Fran, already Team USA in some foul trouble.
Yes, they are, and Coach K talked about this in that Lithuania game where they fouled way too much in the first half.
Here's Teodosic, left open. It's a 7-point Serbia lead.
Serbia playing with a lot of poise so far. Good execution of their offense.
Good ball movement by Team USA. Harden has to fight for it. Last touched by Markovic.
No change of possession, so the shot clock will remain, but watch Markovic. Harden going for this loose ball.
Team USA called that timeout last time, Fran. What's the message in the huddle?
I think Coach K is just trying to calm them down a little bit. You know what I like about that right there? Serbia's scouting report was very good early. They kept the ball away from the perimeter players of Team USA. Sometimes you have to junk the scouting report, spread it out, and go to your strengths. And Irving's ability to get to the lane is a strength of his. See, Irving's guarding Teodosic.
Drops it off. Opportunity for a three-point play for Bjelica.
They can't keep Teodosic out of the lane. When he's at his best, he's as good at passing as there is at really anybody in the world, Kevin. In terms of pick and roll, he's as good as it gets. He's right there with Nash, with Chris Paul, with some of the other great pick and roll point guards.
Miroslav Bjelica completes the three-point play, and the Serbian lead is 8. They are 7 of 7 from the field to start.
See, they're playing shutout on Curry and Harden if they can.
Here's Harden drawing another foul. He's so good at that, Fran. He's done it throughout this tournament.
They worked hard to make him get the ball, that he was able to get to the lane.
2 fouls on Anthony Davis, 1 apiece on Harden, Faried, and Cousins. That's something of an early storyline, and it's not shocking in international competition in any way to see the officials playing a role.
No question, especially early in a game. They want to establish control of the game both ways. Both teams can play chippy. And I'll remind you of 2008 when Team USA played Spain in the gold medal game. LeBron got a quick 2. D. Wade got a quick 2. Coach K had to make some adjustments. Curry guarding Teodosic now.
And now Cousins bats it off the rim, and you can do that in FIBA play. We've seen Serbia, that being a strength of this team. They've been so good at knocking balls off the rim as Harden tries a 3.
That's huge. Transition. Team USA's offensive stuff is simple. So what you have to do is spread it out and allow these guys to make some plays.
Big time block by Cousins that time, and he's fouled by Kalinic. We remind you that Monday Night Football brings you a meeting between a pair of division champs as we take another look at the defense by Cousins.
Really nice job by DeMarcus Cousins. Davis in foul trouble. He has to be very active because he's got to play the rim. He's also got to play the pick and roll on the perimeter.
Well, 2 fouls apiece now on Teodosic and Kalinic. As we remind you, Monday Night Football brings you a meeting between 2 reigning division champs. Eagles and Colts have at it tomorrow, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Second free throw will not count, a violation on Team USA. Fran, 5 minutes in, what have you seen from both teams?
Well, I think Serbia has established a nice tempo. They've also done a good job, quite frankly, of spreading Team USA out, because we talked about that being their strength and getting some easy shots at the rim. Team USA is explosive. Couple stops, couple turnovers, and they can open up a run.
Nenad Kristic in the game for Serbia as Bjelica misfired on the 3. Team USA now in the midst of a 7-0 run. Make it 9-0.
I like that. And I like the fact that Irving went at Teodosic. One of the things you do with Teodosic is you make him defend, because that's not his strength. He's a conscientious objector on that end of the floor.
Off the penetration, Nenad Kristic missing from in close, and another rebound for DeMarcus Cousins.
See if Irving does it again.
Pull up 3 for Kyrie Irving.
Explosive, Kevin. That's what we said. Couple stops.
We talked about him needing to be a defensive stopper. He's got 7 points. Bjelica drops it off. Kristic unable to finish, from in close again.
2 big misses by Kristic, who's playing this tournament hurt.
Irving all the way. He's taken over this first quarter. Team USA by 6. Team USA in the midst of a 14-0 run in the last 2 minutes and 7 seconds. And Fran Fraschilla, we talked about foul trouble for Team USA. It's impacting Serbia as well.
Well, it really has. You see, DeMarcus Cousins has been outstanding on the defensive end, but I love what Kyrie Irving has done. When Teodosic picked up his second foul, he's gone right at him. He's got the last 7 USA points. But the big fella has really done his job at the rim with Anthony Davis in foul trouble.
Yeah, 2 fouls for Anthony Davis early on, and DeMarcus Cousins, who has been maligned throughout the course of his professional career. He's really done a terrific job buying into the Mike Krzyzewski, Jerry Colangelo Team USA system, Fran.
No, he really has. He wanted to be on this team. Some people thought it was touch and go, but to his credit, that should be an illegal screen.
Now they will call it on Rudy Gay, who you heard Todd Grisham mention in the pregame. Suffered a facial injury, and Mike Krzyzewski wants an explanation.
Now watch, I think Kristic moved the hip. That's an illegal screen. But we talked about this at the beginning. You can't let Serbia play with confidence. And in this last 2 minutes, Team USA has taken that confidence away just a little bit with that 14-0 run.
Bjelica to the free throw line. Nemanja Bjelica plays for Fenerbahce Ulker in the Turkish league, averaging better than 11 points per game in this tournament. Second round pick in 2010 of the Washington Wizards, traded right away to Minnesota. Knocks down Bull.
Yeah, Rudy Gay had a chance to bat that ball off the rim. Watch Irving now. Kyrie Irving quietly has had an exceptional tournament. He's been very efficient.
Here's Boogie Cousins. Knocks down the 18-footer.
See, that's the calculated risk. They've done a good job on the perimeter, but they've let the bigs from USA shoot it. Faried's made a jumper, and now Cousins has made a foul line jumper. But you have to give up something if you're Coach Djordjevic. Harden's late on that. See, you must rotate to the rim if you're James Harden. You could smell that slip screen coming from a mile away.
Nenad Kristic, maybe the most familiar member of this Serbian team to American basketball fans, former New Jersey Net, Oklahoma City Thunder, and Boston Celtic. Here's Irving. He's feeling it.
How about this? How about this? He's making his threes at a high rate. He's getting to the rim, and he's going to leave Madrid with increased confidence. And he was the NBA's All-Star Game MVP. It's not like he needs a lot.
Bjelica off the drive. Three-pointer on the way for Bogdanovic.
Team USA, great pick-and-roll defense. They forced the ball down.
Harden took it right at Bjelica's. Second effort by Gay is contested. And then a three out of the corner by Klay Thompson.
Talk about unconscious. That's one of those in college. Coach K would say, no, pull it out. Nice shot. Klay Thompson's having a fabulous tournament as well, especially on the defensive end.
Kristic working on Cousins, spins baseline, but he stepped out of bounds. As we see Mason Plumlee and Derrick Rose check into the game for the first time, and Fran, Team USA has really turned it around with aggressiveness on the offensive end.
No question, but watch this little handoff. Klay Thompson, corner three. Good rhythm shot. Now, Team USA has certainly been a team of runs. And this run at the end of the first half has done a little bit to destroy that confidence Serbia had early.
Jovic drops it off. Semanovic unable to finish.
Quietly, nice help by Plumlee.
Rudy Gay gets to the rim, and the U.S. with a 13-point lead. Here's Stefan Jovic into the paint. Last touch by Serbia. I thought it was knocked out of bounds by Team USA. And a look at Team USA has struggled usually in the first quarter, Fran, but not tonight.
No, they caught fire halfway through. Kyrie Irving really has been the catalyst, and he continues to be the catalyst. This is impressive.
15 points. He's 6 of 7 from the field, and the USA lead is 16.
Well, any hope Serbia had of slowing Team USA down is going by the wayside at this point.
Bogdanovic, no, tipped up and in by Jovic as the first quarter comes to an end. Serbia led it 15-7, but the U.S. closing the first quarter in a big way. Bjelica back with you. The final of the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Team USA closed that first quarter on a 28-6 run as Serbia starts the second quarter on a Bogdanovic miss. Fran, Kyrie Irving was just electric in the final 6 minutes of that first quarter.
Well, he's been very consistent throughout this tournament. One of those guys that's made his threes. Take a look. The numbers are good. This is not a surprise tonight, but getting Team USA off in the first quarter as quickly as he did really did a hammer job on Serbia's confidence after the opening couple minutes.
Couple of fouls called early on Milos Teodosic, the heartbeat of this Serbian team. And it's allowed Team USA, specifically Kyrie Irving, to get to the basket.
Well, now you got to make Teodosic defend. And you got to crowd him and pick and roll.
Klay Thompson a three. How about the shooting of Team USA?
You know, I can think back to the Finland game when Team USA struggled behind the arc. Steph Curry went 0 for 5, but since that point, really, they have caught fire. Looks like we have a double foul.
I believe it's on Irving and Bogdanovic.
Team USA now must keep their cool. One thing you'll see happen when a team in Europe is not doing well is they'll try to make it very chippy. We saw that from Lithuania, so you want to keep your cool now.
Foul was not called on Kyrie Irving. It was Kenneth Faried, his second, so 2 fouls each for Anthony Davis and Kenneth Faried. Whistle and a foul away from the ball on DeMarcus Cousins. And that'll be number 2 on him, Fran. So now 2 each on each one of the 3 big men for Team USA, Faried, Cousins, and Davis.
Well, it's not Gasol, and Ibaka, so if Coach K chooses to play a little bit smaller, he can. We saw that at the end of the first quarter.
Nearly turned over, and now Serbia gets it out to Teodosic, and they needed that.
You notice they gave up the 2 at the rim for the 3, and they got it.
Milos Teodosic averaging 12.5 points per game. Irving all the way. It's tipped in by Faried.
Once again, Irving causing havoc with the Serbia defense. Got to watch Bogdanovic because he doesn't mind trying to take over some. You see the spread there?
Bjelica missing the 3, and I think they're going to get Irving on that foul. Indeed, it was Irving just pushing his way through a screen.
Yep, the Serbia system is 4 out, 1 in. Usually all 4 perimeter players can shoot it. So they really put pressure on you, and they make you play the closeout game on skip passes where you got to recover back out to the weak side.
Quick hands that time by Derrick Rose, forcing the turnover. How about the job Team USA has done on Teodosic?
He hasn't really been involved. What you have to do with him is make him go right, pressure him and pick and roll, trap him some, but he really hasn't been a factor minus that 1 open 3. He's the little girl with the curl. He can be very, very good sometimes, and he can also hurt his team.
Easy basket down low for DeMarcus Cousins, and Serbia getting an easy basket by Bogdanovic.
Remember, Serbia has come back in this tournament a number of times.
Here's Cousins, wraparound feed to Faried. Good interior passing. That basket should have counted, Fran.
It looked like the hand went through the net, didn't it? It was a great feed by Cousins in the mid-post.
Bjelica lowers the shoulder, and he's called for the foul.
You see that? That was almost, you could almost call that unsporting. That was done by design. That wasn't an accident.
Bjelica lowering the shoulder on Kyrie Irving, who's been red hot. Rose misfiring on the jumper, and it's last touch by Team USA. Hey, need USA basketball updates at your fingertips? Download the USA Basketball app today for the latest news on the men's and women's national teams. Check out rosters, photos, videos, and more. Available at Google Play and the Apple App Store. How about for Sasha Djordjevic? What's the strategy right now for Serbia?
Got to keep plugging. You know, you've got shooters. You've got a system that works, so you want to keep running your offense. Don't turn it over, because that gives Team USA those easy run-out baskets. Spread it out. Hope that Team USA loses focus, and then knock down your threes.
Bjelica drops it off, but turns it over.
Good hands by Markovic. And more good hands.
Rose to Kenneth Faried.
The Energizer Bunny. From the start of camp, training camp in Las Vegas. First 15, 20 minutes of camp, it was pretty much a given this guy would make the team because of his energy and hustle. He's become one of Coach K's favorites.
Fred, in many ways, he is the prototypical international player.
Well, it's interesting because from the 4 spot, usually that guy is a Kevin Durant, Rudy Gay, Carmelo Anthony, stretch the full floor kind of guy. So it's actually a little different with him. What he is it doesn't matter where you play basketball. A guy that plays with that energy and understands that playing hard is a skill has room on anybody's roster.
The foul called on Team USA at this end of the floor, but last trip down it was on Bjelica, and he has 3. Bjelica driving at Davis.
I'll tell you what, Klay Thompson just did a great thing. That's a tough pass right there.
Rose gives it up. 3-pointer by Curry, but look at Davis fight. Last touched by Serbia, and if we were to pick an MVP of Team USA, I think he might be your guy.
Well, he would be certainly one of my top candidates. Anthony Davis as well. James Harden's come on. You know what? Klay Thompson off the bench is magnificent. But on that last defensive possession, Klay Thompson wasn't even worried about the basketball. He was playing shutout defense on Teodosic. Good scouting report D by that coaching staff at Team USA.
Here's Faried going to work on Bjelica. Good defense by Serbia that time, and if the foul is on Faried, it is number 3.
Well, Faried's got to know better there. He got stuck underneath the rim. Serbia defenders just played vertical here, and Faried's got to kick that out. See, there's really nowhere to go, and when you yell and scream in the NBA, sometimes they give you the call, but those defenders were in good position right there. That's a good no call. Faried just got to kick it back out, get out of the 3-point, out of the 3-second lane, and then regroup.
Well, it is number 3 on Kenneth Faried. Team USA, both teams actually in the bonus, and so it sends Miroslav Bjelica to the line.
He's had a very good tournament. There you see the fouls, like college. 5 and you're gone. Bjelica is really a backup type player, but more than likely, I don't see him in the NBA this coming year. I think he'll be in Europe somewhere. But he's helped himself in this tournament. He's been a low post threat.
He's played professionally in the U.S., in Serbia, Turkey, in the German Bundesliga, and in Ukraine.
He was part of a Serbian team back in 2007 that beat USA in the under-19 World Championships, and Steph Curry was on that USA team.
In and out for Rudy Gay, and now an opportunity for Serbia to cut into this USA lead.
You want to keep your focus if you're USA. You've controlled the last 10 minutes of this game, and there's another foul. You don't want Serbia to get back into this game, especially on the free throw line.
And that is number 3 on Anthony Davis.
Listen, this has been a part of if you want to nitpick Team USA's 30-plus scoring margin over 8 games, you know, one of the things that I know Coach K would tell you is that we could defend better without fouling.
Well, that's 3 fouls on Anthony Davis and Kenneth Faried, as Teodosic with a pair of fouls misses the first attempt.
Teodosic is one of those guys that when he's really good, he's really hard to guard, but he sometimes, on occasion, can keep both teams in the game. But you have to account for him because he can light it up quickly.
Now, one of the reasons that Mike Krzyzewski, the Team USA, kept as many bigs as they did was in preparation for Spain. But obviously the depth at the big position playing a factor in this game with the foul trouble to both Faried and Davis. Thompson's 3, no. Look at the follow-up by Gay.
Rudy Gay started at the three-point line on that handoff, and no one checked him. Good, that's good defense. Thompson kept coming through both screens. Some guys hit the screen and it's like Velcro, but he fought through 2 screens to get back to Teodosic.
3 to shoot. There's the big fella, Bjelica, called for the charge.
We saw this in 2010, where Rudy Gay did a lot of garbage, a lot of dirty work for Coach K from that 4 spot. And there's a good example right there.
3rd foul called on Bjelica, and Serbia cannot afford to lose him.
There you see the follow by Rudy Gay at the running start.
To correct myself, that was the 2nd foul called on Bjelica as Gay drills a 3. He scored the last 5 points.
Now, I went back and checked. Rudy Gay's about a 39% three-point shooter in FIBA play. That line is just close enough that he becomes a real threat. You know, in the NBA, it's a little lower, a little deeper. Can't give him that.
Extra pass to Teodosic.
Boy, DeMarcus Cousins is doing a phenomenal job at the rim.
They're going to get the foul on Klay Thompson. Brad, how about the 3-point shooting for Team USA in this one? 7 of 11.
Well, they came in really starting to catch fire. 38%, 5 guys over 39. But this is a mid-range jumper for Rudy Gay in rhythm. We wouldn't call him a great shooter in the league, but through the years in FIBA play, he's been able to knock down that shot.
The foul on Thompson sends Stefan Markovic to the line. 26-year-old out of Belgrade, plays in the Spanish league. Well, you knew Serbia would come out with lots of energy, playing in this championship at the final of the FIBA World Cup. With Team USA weathering the storm early on, Fran, and the offense and the execution has been outstanding.
Well, Kyrie Irving really, when we look back at the end of this first half, it was the job he did really on his own for about a 2-minute stretch that opened this game up. He's got a mismatch right now. Let's see how Serbia handles it.
He fires from behind the arc again. Kyrie Irving has 18 points in this first half.
I don't know how you say no answer in Serbian, but right now they do not have an answer.
Last touched by Team USA. Brad, the U.S. trailed 15-7, and since then, Kyrie Irving has dominated this game.
And you know what? He's made that jumper all tournament long. Came in shooting near 50%. if you're David Blatt and David Griffin in the front office of the Cavs, LeBron, Kevin Love, you got to be excited about what you're seeing.
Where does the offense come for Serbia? Markovic misses the three, and the U.S. will look to push again.
Another mismatch.
Harden, step back three for the U.S. The lead is up to 26. Team USA, 9 of 13 from behind the arc. Team USA shooting 69% from behind the arc, Fran. They've opened up a 26-point lead.
And they've done it really on both ends. Once Serbia established that quick start, Kyrie Irving took over the ball movement. The one-on-one play has been excellent. The defense has been locked down, even through the foul trouble. And we've seen great efforts off the bench from guys like Irving and Thompson and certainly DeMarcus Cousins inside.
Serbia trying to find an answer, and finally a three goes down by Bjelica.
At 6'10", he can be tricky to handle that time, and Cousins needed to respect that jumper.
Now, Serbia was so good from behind the arc against France, 8 of 15. They're just 2 of 8 in this game to start as Irving turns it over. We remind you, ESPN2 brings you coverage of women's USA basketball tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. Team USA takes on Canada in an exhibition leading up to the FIBA World Championship in Turkey, a game that's also available live on Watch ESPN.
Well, the best you can hope for right now if you're Coach Djordjevic is to cut into this lead and try to get it to within 15, I guess.
How do you do that?
Well, first of all, you got to keep USA out of transition, and you got really, Team USA is just playing great one-on-one basketball.
Look at Cousins. Look at the hustle by DeMarcus Cousins as they get the foul on Bjelica.
I mean, how do you guard Kyrie Irving when he's knocking down threes, or James Harden? They don't play zone. I tried to find the clip of zone all tournament. They don't play zone. Their team defense, if you help too much, somebody else on USA gets a shot. So it's been a blitzkrieg, really.
As DeMarcus Cousins goes to the line, Serbia in the bonus. Franny's got 7 points, 7 rebounds. And I've told this story before, but it bears repeating. I mean, he was a player that drove Jerry Colangelo crazy leading up to the 2012 Olympics, and he's played a huge role on this team.
Well, he's maturing. Let's face it, you know. Not always the easiest guy to coach, but that's okay, you know. He plays hard. His numbers are good every night in the league. And he's a young player. I think if you're Michael Malone and the Kings, so you don't want this if you're USA now. You want to finish out the half crisply, but if you're the Sacramento Kings, you got to love what DeMarcus Cousins has done here.
They work it down low. Vladimir Štimac's in the game. Battered away by Cousins. Here's Harden all the way to the rim.
And that started with DeMarcus Cousins again. He didn't leave his feet until he absolutely had to. That's good help, D, again.
3-point front rim by Kalinic. Another rebound by Cousins. And another three on the way by Curry.
That might be his first basket. They've been doing this without guys like Davis and Curry and Rose doing much offensively.
Off the drive, last touch, and good help defense by Kyrie Irving. Look at the leading scorers for Team USA.
Been an impressive first half. Serbia, they have so much pride in their basketball. It's, you know, theoretically the best basketball in Europe, the best coaching, the smartest team. Not tonight.
Kevin Connors, Fran Fraschilla back with you. The scene in Madrid, as you put it, Fran, a blitzkrieg by Team USA. Offensively, Serbia has had no answers.
No, and we've also seen the depth of this Team USA team. Remember, this is supposed to be our C team, right? No Durant, no Paul George, no LeBron. Coach K and Jerry Colangelo picked this team. They went with size. They went with point guard play. Rudy Gay, who was the last guy added after the withdrawal of Kevin Durant, the injury to Paul George.
Bjelica sees the free throw rim out. I mean, really, this is, in all honesty, Fran, absolute worst case scenario for Serbia to give up 62 points in the first half. Team USA just really isn't missing.
Well, remember, Team USA's been in foul trouble too. So, you know, you can't say anything about FIBA officials in this game. It's kind of gone both ways. We said it would be called close.
Harden a three. The U.S. is 12 of 16 from three-point range.
Very, very impressive. They have broken Serbia's will right now. That's not easy to do.
Foul's going to be called on Kyrie Irving, and second foul.
This is too easy. James Harden, watch this. That's too easy. Remember, this Serbia team came into this final game really, really blitzing some good opponents. Greece, Brazil, France. And there you see the numbers. They started off slow. They picked up momentum throughout this tournament. Right now, they're very comfortable with that shorter international three-point line.
What's that a product of, Fran? Is it getting used to the distance?
Well, I think the basketball, this is not an excuse, but the basketball is different. It's lighter, it's slicker. All teams have to deal with it. It's not like Team USA is the only team, but I think it took a little bit of time to get used to that and just try to figure out the spacing on the floor. But, you know, when we saw Steph Curry miss 5 in a row against Finland, that's a small sample size. That's like a 300 hitter going 0 for 4. So eventually, you know, the odds were going to catch up that Team USA would do what they normally do. Guys like Thompson, Harden, Curry, and that's really been the case.
Well, you saw Raduljic on the bench with 3 fouls for Serbia. Steph Curry connecting on a pair of free throws. The lead is 31 as we're under a minute to go here in the first half from Madrid.
Well, the defensive help has been outstanding. You can hear Tom Thibodeau. He's up. He knows what's coming.
Good box out by Plumlee. Curry the rebound.
You hear Tibbs go, get up, get up.
And Curry, a bit too fancy that time, shuffled his feet. And a travel, a rare turnover, just the 4th of this first half of the U.S.
Tell you what, really good scouting report defense, I thought, in this first half. They've taken away the guys they needed to take away, including Teodosic. I'll tell you what. I guess that's a foul.
Now Mason Plumlee not used to the game being called that way in the U.S. As you see, Nenad Krstić, Milos Teodosic on the bench for Serbia. They started this game with such promise, 15-7 run to open the game. Teodosic had the ability to get into the paint, create for his teammates, but the U.S. offense and the ability to knock down as many threes as they have has really thwarted what Serbia's wanted to do in this game.
Now, if you're Team USA, you want the last shot of the half, obviously. And then if you're Coach K, I'd be interested to see what he says at halftime to a team that's played this well. Just don't want to turn it over.
Harden fires the 3, rebound to Serbia, and Kalinic gets it off in time. That'll count.
Good heads-up play by Kalinic. He knows the clock in his head. Just a run out. That'll count.
Well, a positive end to the first half for Sasha Djordjevic and Serbia, who started well and finished well, but in between, the U.S. opened up a 26-point lead.
Go, go, USA. What a half the red, white, and blue had. A 26-point lead over Serbia. Kyrie Irving leading the way with 18 points. James Harden has 17. Welcome into our Bristol studios. My name is Todd Grisham. Team USA began forming its roster back in January, but it turns out they weren't who we thought they were. LeBron and Carmelo elected not to play. So too did Kevin Durant and Kevin Love. And of course, you remember the gruesome leg injury that Paul George suffered. But in the end, even at 50% capacity, Team USA has proven it's the best team on the planet.
I want you to bring your bodies, I want you to bring your minds, and I want you to bring your hearts. Those three things have to happen every game.
Team USA, they got all the pressure in the world to win these games.
You got a chance to represent a whole country, and to be able to, be that person to bring back that gold medal is a huge honor.
It does give me goosebumps and chills thinking about, hopefully, kind of that vision of where we're going to be, come the end of the World Cup.
The United States about to clinch themselves Group C.
Words can't explain it. I mean, be a part of this atmosphere, just stuff you dream about.
I have one gold medal already, but to win two, this can be huge. It's an honor. It's a privilege.
The United States cruising on its way toward a 5-0 mark.
It feels like no other. You're not only just playing for yourself, you're playing for the whole country, and it's just an unbelievable feeling to get that opportunity.
United States lob, and Faried with the jam. And so the United States to once again reach the semifinals.
In order to win, you have to be worthy of winning. And what does worthy of winning mean? It means that you're playing as one. You're working hard together. You're unselfish. This group is worthy of winning.
And the United States advancing to the gold medal game.
Big time, though. Big time win. Big time team win. Trying to go for that gold. Next step.
They have made it look easy. The United States owns the 4 highest points per game differentials at the FIBA World Cup among champions. This year's squad would rank second all time behind the 94 team led by Shaq. But none of these teams came close to the Dream Team in '92 at the Olympics in Spain. They defeated their opponents by an average of 44 points per game. Third place game, France and Lithuania. France down 2, and this is Jeffrey Laverne. With just over 6 minutes to go, down low. We're tied at 75. France pumped up. Later, tied at 80. Boris Diaw. Nice up and under move. Diaw with 15 points. Nicolas Batum led the way for La Bleu with 27. And there's Diaw again down low. That would make it a 4-point game. The final 16 seconds saw 11 fouls and 22 free throws as France holds on to win it by 2. Kenneth Faried, the manimal. Always energetic, always above the rim. He's got 7 points.
Kevin Connors, Fran Fraschilla back with you. Team USA a 26-point halftime lead. Moments ago, our Mark Stein spoke with one of the stars of Team USA, Kyrie Irving.
Team USA down 7 points early. Anthony Davis gets 2 early fouls. They're finding holes in the defense. Things didn't look good, and then you guys turned it around. How did you turn it around so quickly?
Well, honestly, I don't think anything didn't look good. Honestly, I mean, depends on the game, the way we start. We're all in this together. There's no such thing as a bad start or anything for us. I mean, they were making shots. That's what we're supposed to do. I mean, it's a championship game. Some teams start out that way, but for us, it was just about locking in on both ends of the floor. We picked it up on both ends, and we're up at half, so one more half to go.
You personally was just a couple days ago, you weren't even able to sit down on the bench during your rest periods, and you had 15 points in that first quarter. What are you seeing that you can exploit personally?
Well, right now, I think we're just doing a great job just spacing out, moving the ball really well, and, exploiting their weak points. And, us as a team, I think we're doing a hell of a job on both ends of the floor.
Thanks, Kyrie.
Fran, I think the last part of that comment is right on the money, right?
Well, that was classic player speak, if you will. He said all the right things, and he has, but throughout this tournament. But take a look. Irving and Harden, explosive during that USA run. Kevin, this was a 39-point turnaround. They were down 8 at one point. They were up 31 late in the second quarter. Now for USA, you do not want Serbia to get back into this game, making threes, getting easy shots.
Steph Curry off the mark. The 67 points scored by Team USA, the most that they scored in a first half in this tournament. They had 70 in the second half of the win over Slovenia, and a good start for Serbia.
Well, they went right at Cousins, who's starting the second half because Davis has the 3 fouls.
Kyrie Irving answering.
I thought for most of that first half, after the first couple minutes, Team USA's half-court defense was outstanding because they locked into the game plan of smothering those guards in pick and roll, protecting the rim as well.
Kick ball, and it'll stay Serbia ball. Interesting, friend. Kyrie Irving talked about after the signing of LeBron James. He admitted he shied away from being the face of the Cavaliers franchise. He said he didn't necessarily embrace being the guy every day. This tournament, this performance could help in the maturation process.
Well, he's already a good NBA player, a great NBA player, but this is about winning now. Oh, that is a down 26. We want to make sure things stay even call because that is a charge. Take a look now. This is an easy call. It's going to come right at you. I think DeMarcus Cousins was set. And they count the basket. What you want to do if you're USA is stay focused and lock in on that defensive end. See, and you don't got to get your defensive rebounds.
Cousins unable to. He's got 2 fouls now.
Kevin, the only way Serbia gets back in this game, and it is possible, is if Team USA loses its defensive focus.
Radulica misses, and Cousins another rebound. What do you suppose Mike Krzyzewski told his team at the half?
Well, I think what you know, those of us who've coached in this situation, you just tell them to forget the scoreboard.
Here's Cousins all the way, and he's fouled on his way up, and they'll call an intentional foul, Fran.
And that's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul. Teodosic, this is common for him. When things aren't going well, he'll be in the middle of it. I love that Cousins is just staying calm. The other day, we saw him almost react to Valanciunas. So that was a foul on the way up. I don't think they called it an unsporting. But see, you don't want to bait yourself into getting into a back and forth game with the lead now.
It was definitely a hard foul by Radulica. I don't know that it was necessarily...
Well, Cousins came down, right? In fairness, he hit Bjelica in the back of the head.
As Cousins knocks down the first. He's up to 8 points, 9 rebounds in the game.
And so it is an unsportsmanlike foul. Team USA should get this ball back. Now, if you're Team USA now, you want to maintain your composure. Serbia team that is a very tough team. They play with a lot of pride. They did likely not take well to being blown out in that first half.
There's Harden, and lost it on his way up, but he regained it and laid it in. The U.S. lead is up to 73-45. Still 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Oh, good challenge. That might have been Cousins again.
And they'll get a foul called on Serbia. It's Kalinic. I think Radulica may have had a case here, Fran. Let's take another look.
Let's see. And I don't know. They haven't called that much at the rim.
Well, they've just called a technical foul.
Now, let me make this point. Coach K has been extremely proud of the way this United States team has represented itself from the start of training camp. More than likely, they are going to win this game. What they don't want to do right now is get baited into anything that causes them to lose focus.
Technical foul on Radulica. You're right. We saw it get chippy in the Lithuania game.
And that's how it should be. We're playing for medals here, you know. And this is a team with Lithuania, Serbia, Croatia. These teams have so much pride in their basketball.
So the technical foul in international play is a personal foul. It's 4 fouls now on Radulica, who stays in the game. Here's Harden. No on the 3, but the follow-up by DeMarcus Cousins.
You love his effort. He needs to do his talking with his play right now, and that's what he's done. He has really been the secret weapon today for Coach K, and particularly on the defensive end. Listen, he's playing a backup center in the NBA, so he ought to be doing this, but the effort has been phenomenal.
Open 3 by Markovic. Look at who's there to get his hands on it. Last touched by Cousins, but Fran, he's been so active, and he's played a big part in this game because Anthony Davis has been in foul trouble.
There's no question. And, you know, his effort has been exemplary the whole tournament. Remember, shorter game, you're playing 20 minutes, 18 minutes, 22 some nights. You ought to be able to give this kind of effort, but Team USA, by and large, has.
Here's a 3, a good-looking stroke by Bjelica.
Now, he's 6'10", and he's tricky because he can put it on the floor, which he did to start this second half, so you got to play him honestly.
Irving, the rare miss, fought for by Faried. And it'll stay here. They get Bjelica on the foul.
Watch Faried there. Got held from behind by Bjelica. Easy call for the officials, and plays with a smile on his face, doesn't he? You love guys that enjoy the moment.
Here's Harden off the drive. Elbow jumper, and James Harden continues to shoot it well today.
Well, he took Teodosic that time to school, if you will. You don't want to give that up right there if you're Coach K.
Easy bucket by Milos Teodosic, who, Fran, for the most part, he's got 10 points, but he's been held in check.
No, he's been quiet, and more importantly, he hasn't been able to orchestrate any consistent offense in the pick and roll game.
Faried, no on the jump hook, but Cousins is fouled, and ESPN2 brings you coverage of Women's USA basketball tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. Team USA takes on Canada in an exhibition leading up to the FIBA World Championship in Turkey.
So what Coach K is about to do right now is Anthony Davis is going to come into this game. He did not start the second half because of the 3 fouls. And Cousins and Faried have held the fort down. I mentioned earlier that from ownership right down to Coach Mike Malone in Sacramento, they were really anxious to see DeMarcus Cousins make this team. He made the team. Many thought he would be a backup, insurance in case they played Spain, but he's more than earned his mark.
Lane violation called on Serbia there. And we mentioned there's 2 members of the Sacramento Kings on this team, with Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins, the only team to have 2 players other than Sacramento, the Golden State Warriors.
Now you want it to translate into some movement up the ladder in the Western Conference. Got some young guys like Stauskas and McLemore. Darren Collison joins them to play point.
I know our buddy Chris Mullen doing a nice job in Sacramento. Good feed, unselfish play by Teodosic.
Yeah, that was good team defense by USA, but Serbia moved the ball well, got him in a rotation, and Teodosic with a good, smart play.
Now there's Harden taking it at the rim, and the foul be called on Roscoe Kotic, our first time calling his name.
Yep, he's a big banger, doesn't play much, Kotic. 6'11", throws his body around. Going to make sure he uses all 5 of his fouls.
Well, you mentioned a big body that doesn't play a lot, and in a 29-point game, Fran, that could lend itself potentially to being a guy out there looking to commit hard fouls. Do you consciously, as a coach, talk to your team?
No, these guys know. I mean, they know what's at stake, and they know how hard Serbia plays. Kalinic is a big guy out there. Coach Djordjevic is trying to get his team going a little bit. They've got foul trouble too with Radulica with 4. So Kalinic is a guy that's been around a long time, 33, plays at Red Star, one of the great, you know, through the years, one of the great teams in Europe. You know, you go to a Partizan Red Star game and it's like Duke, Carolina. The passion for Serbian basketball is really on a par with anything that you'll ever see in basketball. Kentucky basketball, Lithuania, Kansas Jayhawks.
Nenad Kristic knocks down the jumper. Well, the proud tradition, the proud history of basketball, Fran, for Serbia and the former Yugoslavia as
that's amazing, really.
It's a zone now for Serbia,
yes.
right?
You almost never see this from Serbia. And as I mentioned, I tried to go back in all 8 games prior to this, find some zone. They pressed a little bit, but this is just Coach Djordjevic now reaching, looking for something to change the momentum.
Necessity is the mother of invention when Team USA shoots 11 of 15 from three-point range in the first half. And there's Anthony Davis. First field goal of the game for Davis.
Let's just watch this matchup between Klay Thompson and Teodosic, because Klay Thompson loves this challenge. See, this is good disruption overall defensively.
3 by Bogdanovic, drafted this past summer by the Phoenix Suns. He played very well in the semifinal game as Irving is left open, and he knocks down a 3.
That three-point shot internationally for him has been an absolute layup in 9 games. He's closing in on 60% behind the arc.
Irving's up to 23 points, 5 of 5 from three-point range as Bogdanovic knocks down another.
You know, we won't show the replay, but that was nice basketball. He came off the screen, and he just went against the grain, created a little space for himself.
Irving, not again, yes again.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable performance. And it couldn't come at a better time.
Whistle and a foul on James Harden. Kyrie Irving has been nothing short of brilliant in this game, combining with James Harden for 49 points. Team USA comfortably in control here in the third. Team USA trailed 15-7 midway through the first quarter. It is now a 91-59 lead.
You know what I've been thinking about during that last timeout? My man David Blatt is Xing and Owen right now, putting stuff down on paper, because he has got 3 offensive weapons. He's trying to figure out how to get Kyrie in that spread pick and roll. New coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, a longtime successful coach in Europe. He knows a lot of these Serbian players.
And the situation that he steps into, not unlike what Eric Spoelstra had in Miami, right? A coach unproven, at least in the NBA. Tremendous international experience, but unproven in the NBA, taking over a Ferrari, right?
Well, he really is one of the great coaches in the world. There's some great European coaches. I think Ettore Messina, who's going to be with the San Antonio Spurs, is going to be the next guy to get a head coaching job. But these guys can really coach.
And it's neat to see someone who's put in the time, who deserves an opportunity to get it. We remind you, Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell, 8 Eastern. The Yankees take on the Orioles. Derek Jeter winds down his Hall of Fame career, a game that's also available live on Watch ESPN.
And you know, it's interesting because Serbia, I mentioned the Serbian coaches, Kevin, and they take a lot of pride in their basketball. They really do. They're some of the great coaches in Europe. And there are more Serbian coaches that have had success in other countries than probably any country in Europe. And I think of my friend, the late Dave Gavitt, coach at Providence, the commissioner of the Big East, was really one of the first guys to connect with Serbian, or at that time, Yugoslavian basketball. Guys like Mirko Novosel and Alexander Nikolic. Coach Gavitt was later the Olympic coach, but he was one of those guys that the pioneers, the Hubie Browns, the Jack Ramseys, the Dave Gavitts, to bring American basketball to Europe. So many great friendships and connections came out of that. And now they have their own style of play, and more often than not, we steal from them nowadays.
Bogdanovic drives, and he's fouled by Gay, who had the emphatic putback on the other end of the floor, Fran.
And Rudy Gay, he's doing what he did in 2010 for Coach K. He's the stretch four, small power forward, if you will. He took the place of what Paul George, how he would have played, Durant. And he's really filled in well. And he's playing with that chipped tooth as well.
That's right. 4 fouls on Rudy Gay. And, you know, to finish the point, we really, in many ways, started the summer with Team USA talking about the Paul George injury. And it started in a lot of ways on a negative note for Team USA. But to finish like this, and we continue to wish Paul George well in a speedy recovery, but to finish like this for Team USA, gratifying. We've got a lot of time to talk about it, but for Mike Krzyzewski, yet again, Fran, to galvanize his team in the face of adversity.
Well, I talked to him in New York about this, that this would be his most satisfying win if they are able to hold on and win the gold. And certainly right now it looks like it does. I mean, they're heading to 130 points, but yeah, I agree. You know, the guy is a Hall of Famer for a reason. There's DeMar DeRozan with the finish. Another guy that's going to use this tournament to catapult himself. First-time All-Star. But I think for Jerry Colangelo and Coach K, there was a period of time in late August where they did have some concern about the makeup of the team. But remember, we have a pool of 25 players at a time with which to pick our best 12. And even though this might not be the best 12, this is still a great 12.
There's DeRozan, another basket.
The other thing that has to be pointed out right now as Team USA blows this Serbian team out is the global game growing closer together, or is Team USA, on the strength of some of these performances, extending the gap? Because Argentina's going down, Spain, you know, will still be strong, but maybe not with Pau on the downside of a great career. So it's up to the Serbias and the Croatias to develop those young players to challenge USA in the future, maybe Canada, but certainly not Argentina.
Jovic knocks down the jumper, the alley-oop to Anthony Davis, and Team USA hits 100 still with 1:40 to go in the third quarter. Now let's forecast, let's look ahead here. Since you brought it up, who's the most likely challenger in addition to Spain in 2016?
It's tough to say. You know, I think Spain certainly will be there if they qualify. But nobody's really within striking distance when we put our best on the floor. And I'm surprised to say that because I thought the world was shrinking the gap, but we have the best players and the most best players in the world right now. One other thing, we're playing the game, maybe not as artistically as some of these other teams, but we don't have to play that way, and we don't have the time in training camps to create the continuity. But Coach K has got these teams to wear that uniform with pride, play great defense, and play together on offense.
And it sounds like in a lot of ways that's a given, right? Most all of the biggest stars in the world, most, not all, but most are American players. But it's not that long ago, Fran, that this USA basketball team finished 6th at the FIBA World Cup.
Yes.
And won a bronze medal in the Olympics.
We were in shambles after 2004. And it was embarrassing to go to Europe and talk to my European friends about it. But I love great competition, but you also want to see USA maximize the abilities they have. And Coach K has done that.
Foul called on Nenad Kristic. And so it'll send Anthony Davis to the free throw line. Quiet game for Davis, but that should not take away from what he's done in this tournament. He is a guy in many ways, Fran, who carried Team USA through the early play.
Yeah, there you see what we were talking about since 2004. Coach K taking over that loss to Greece in the semifinals, the only loss. He said that was a real education that day. That was the day in the press conference where he said, well, number 3 from Greece is great. Number 6, he didn't really know Papaloukas or Diamantidis. And now when you see him in every press conferences, hey, Teodosic is a great player, or, you know, Kuzminskas hurt us. He's so much more conversant in the international game, and he's told me it's made him a better basketball coach at Duke.
Good defense by Klay Thompson. 104-65 with still a quarter of basketball to play here. And we should talk about it. The final score here will take away somewhat from, I should say, should not take away from what Serbia has done in this tournament. To get to this final, Fran, is a remarkable achievement.
I would agree, and the way they got here, you know, I mean, they blitzed 3 really good teams. When you look at, you know, Serbia, Greece, France, the way they dispatched those guys. Brazil came in as maybe the 2nd or the 3rd best team in the tournament, and plus 17 scoring margin.
Thompson,
those 3 games.
Thompson challenging the 3. Look at Derrick Rose, the dribbling exhibition, lobs it up. And now the run out of the easy basket for Kalinic. Still a full quarter to go here in Madrid, with the game well in hand for Team USA. Here's Faried trying a 3. One of the few that have not gone down for Team USA, and they'll get the foul on Anthony Davis, and that is number 4.
I think Davis was held down.
You're right.
Yep. He'll get a chance to shoot a couple free throws. Anthony Davis is going to team with Omer Ashik and Ryan Anderson on that front line in New Orleans this year. That should be a formidable front line. They get everybody healthy back in the backcourt, and they play through the low post, and, or I should say, that front line, they have a chance to make some improvement. Strength of that Pelican team is that front line.
3 quarters in the books for Madrid, and Team USA comfortably in control, en route to a gold medal. Kevin Connors, Fran Fraschilla back with you. Team USA averaging 101.5 points per game in this tournament at 105 after 3 quarters. The shooting has been spectacular. 57% from the field, 57% from 3-point range as well. They took this game over midway through the first quarter, and they've never looked back.
But it was a little spooky there early on as Serbia got off to that hot start. Got Team USA in foul trouble. Jump hook.
There's Faried.
His move. Last 20 or so games of the regular season in Denver, Kenneth Faried really became an offensive threat more than just the energy. But he loves that jump hook over the left shoulder. Take a look. That's become a money shot for him. Another one of these USA players, as we saw in 2010, that will come out of this tournament with renewed confidence. You'd have to think the way he's handled every press conference, Kevin, that he already had a lot of confidence. It's just that the world didn't know it.
Well, he really is a remarkable story. A guy that was overlooked by many of the big colleges. Tip up and in, and a nice effort by Kalinic. But Faried, going the route to Morehead State, became a star 4-year player there in college, and then member of the all-rookie team in 2012, and he's emerged as one of the really nice players for the Denver Nuggets as Klay Thompson misfires on the 3.
Actually, Denver's got to make a decision on him at the end of this month as to whether they'll let him be an unrestricted, or excuse me, a restricted free agent. They have till October. Did I say end of next month? Yeah, end of October.
Three-pointer on the way by Bjelica. And now Faried leading the break. Thompson free throw line jumper is smooth.
Well, we've said it so many times, but Klay Thompson been one of Coach K's best two-way players in this tournament. Bogdanovic has gotten a little bit of a taste of Thompson's defense in the last few minutes.
Here is Bogdanovic off the dribble. Well, Fran, you mentioned the name Jerry Colangelo.
Yep.
And the job that he's done in concert as Faried misses the dunk, but he's fouled on his way up. The job that he's done in concert with Mike Krzyzewski, as we see the last three major international tournaments, all gold for Team USA. How would you characterize what Jerry Colangelo's done?
I'll tell you what Coach K told me in New York. He said, I can be replaced. He said, they'll hire a really good coach. He said, but Jerry Colangelo can't be replaced because he's been more than Coach K's collaborator on the basketball matters. You think of the fundraising, the funding, the corporate sponsorships, the Nike deals, the Tiffany deals, building a new facility in Tempe, Arizona. Jerry Colangelo's been a team owner in the NBA and in Major League Baseball, and he gets all of that. And Coach K just told me, he said, I don't know that there's one person that's going to ever be able to duplicate what Jerry Colangelo has meant to USA basketball in the last 8 years. So that's coming from Coach K, not me. And but those two guys have made an incredible team, obviously, as they put together this juggernaut.
Good drive by Bogdanovic, who's played well here in the second half.
Right now, we're in NBA exhibition garbage time. Team USA has proven their point.
As Klay Thompson drills another mid-range jumper. How about the kudos to the players? Obviously for all the nations, but for Team USA, right? These are all multi-millionaires, Fran, who play a long NBA season to commit to playing this summer for Team USA.
Yeah, well, and I think it goes back to Jerry Colangelo and Coach K. They've restored the pride in wearing the USA on that jersey. And it's something that many of us in the basketball world, nice pass, took for granted for a long time. And it took some poor performances, both on and off the floor, on the part of some USA teams to change things, shake up the culture. And we were a part of being around these guys at training camp and on the exhibition tour, and they've handled themselves incredibly. They have healthy respect for their opponents. They know they're a great team, but they never really, came across as such. They went about their business game to game, took every team seriously, and they've been ready to play for the most part, night in, night out, over 9 games.
Here's Klay Thompson again. Yeah, I mean, the shooting.
That's ridiculous.
We've seen Thompson now and then DeRozan the previous possession. The shooting for Team USA, 59%, Fran.
Yeah, I didn't have teams do this when we used to practice 5-on-0. Kyrie, you got to give Kyrie Irving a lot of credit in this game and DeMarcus Cousins, because I thought those two guys cracked this game wide open, particularly Kyrie on the offensive end midway through that first quarter.
Now, there's no question about it. 26 points for Kyrie Irving. 6 of 6 from three-point range. 10 of 13 from the field.
That international, that's that international game we've gotten so accustomed to. Drive baseline, look for the drift in the corner. Rudy Gay spotted up, corner 3 we call it, right, in the NBA. But Klay Thompson knows when he drives baseline, he knows where his bailout passes are.
Here's Teodosic, second effort.
Good. They say he went through the rim. They're going to count that basket. They said, was it Plumlee maybe?
It was Plumlee.
Yep. You can bat it off the rim, but you can't go through the rim or the netting. Adam Silver, I know you're in Madrid, but change that rule. That goaltending, knocking that ball off the rim is a great rule I think he'd be great in the NBA and college.
I totally agree. We've talked about that a lot.
Yep.
I don't love all the FIBA rules, but that is one that needs to come to the U.S. as Rudy Gay drives and connects on another easy layup, tying the output to Team USA, the high score that they've had all tournament, and we still have 5 minutes to play. Teodosic, good-looking feed to Radalica, and that combination has really been outstanding for Serbia in this tournament.
It has. It really has. Teodosic, he suffered an ankle injury two weeks before the start of the tournament. Wasn't really himself. He played great from the round of 16 to the semifinals today. He was rendered ineffective by good, solid team defense. Scouting report on Teodosic is force him right. I guess that ball was on the way down before it hit the rim. But force him right, trap him in pick and rolls, take away his vision, take away his ability to make plays for his teammates. I think by and large that was accomplished.
Off the set inbound, Plumlee fouled on his way up.
That's a bad foul, too.
A dangerous one, yeah.
The guy can get hurt.
Well, a reminder, Monday Night Football brings you a meeting between two reigning division champs. The Eagles take on Andrew Luck and the Colts tomorrow night, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN.
Now remember, Serbia is going to celebrate the heck out of this silver medal now. I mean, this is a huge deal for a country of 7 million people.
Well, we saw France celebrating a bronze medal yesterday.
No question.
A gigantic deal, and so many of these nations, really with the exception of Spain, I think you'd agree, came into this tournament, and if you told them at the start of the tournament you would win a silver medal, they'd sign up for that.
No, no question. Everybody was playing for the bronze. Everybody was playing for bronze until France knocked Spain out very unexpectedly, but very decisively as well.
I've got a question for you as we see Andre Drummond in the game. There needs to be an MVP of this tournament given out.
Man, you know, I think I'm going to go with James Harden. I'm going to go with James Harden. I mean, there's 3 or 4 guys I'd love to give it to Faried just because of the energy he established, but unless they go on the one game.
Backdoor alley-oop, nice by Kalinic from Teodosic.
Yeah, a little too late, but nice look. I go back and forth all the time, you know. It was Davis, Faried, Harden. You know what? I'm going to go with Kenneth Faried overall, just because early in this tournament, Drummond got his money's worth there. Just claps his hands. You don't want to mess with Andre Drummond right now.
No, you don't.
270 pounds. Just watch. He'll just shove Kalinic out of the way. You know, I'll get killed on Twitter for saying Faried, but I'm going to stick with my guns because, you know what? As a coach, his energy rubbed off on everybody from the very first game. And although he's been a little quieter since then, the tempo was established from the very start.
Listen, if you've watched all these games as you have, you've broadcasted all the games, as Rose is short on the layup. If anyone kills you for picking Kenneth Faried, they haven't been paying attention because Faried has been a double-double in almost every single game. And you look at what he's done, Fran, in this tournament. He's been the Energizer Buddy, as you've called him.
Yeah, he really has. And again, I'll get back to what you said earlier, because he has not been the prototypical power forward in FIBA play, because usually that's the stretch 4-man, the 3-point shooter. They had to play a different way with the injuries and the withdrawals of the KDs. And he's been as big a surprise as anybody. I don't think there's any question about that.
Here's Derrick Rose. He's been working so hard on that jumper.
Yep, that's the one area he has struggled. I think it's been great for D. Rose to get back in the swing of things, get some extra minutes on the court. He hadn't played in really very much in 2 seasons.
As Drummond challenges the shot at the rim. I thought in reading some of the quotes from Derrick Rose, saying that he's been working, he's had a little bit too much elevation on the jump shot. He's tried not jumping quite as high on the shot, but he's reminding himself as much as anybody, I'm still a great player.
It's all mental with him. I mean, the fact that he's been on the court, you know, has been a positive. Vladimir Stimac with the basket. He's a Lithuanian, Serbian, big, strong kid. He's kind of a fun-loving guy. He gets on the board. He'll be in the box score. someday. This team, by the way, this Serbian team that'll win the silver, they will be treated as heroes back in Belgrade and around Serbia. They'll forget this score. It was a first round, or maybe let's say it was a third round knockout to the heavyweight champ, okay? Team USA knocked them out at the end of that first quarter. But that having been said, this is a historic moment for, as I've said, a country that absolutely loves its basketball.
Rose throws it up, and nice redirection by Andre Drummond.
Kevin, in 2002, with Yugoslavia beat Team USA in the World Championships in Indianapolis. They were still called Yugoslavia at that time, but my Serbian friends remind me that the entire team was Serbian. By that time, the countries had started to split apart. Croatia went its own way, Slovenia. But this time, first meeting.
Look at Jovic on the alley-oop to Stimac.
Yep.
And Serbia hasn't given up. They recognize the challenge here, but they played very well, and they're still into it.
Watch the steal. And then Vladimir Stimac, who plays in Germany for Bayern Munich. He's not the goalkeeper, by the way. He's their power forward center. Got a chance to spend a lot of these time. There's about 60 players in this tournament that were at the Reebok Euro Camp, the European version of the Chicago Combine. So many of these Serbian kids I've watched and coached for a number of years. Time flies as they hit their late 20s and early 30s. Nice lob. But it's fun to watch these European players grow up and turn out to be really good European stars. And in some cases, guys like Dragic and Batum and, Serge Ibaka become really good NBA players.
Jumper goes down for Roscoe Katic.
He's not just in the foul, people. See? Big fella.
I stand corrected. Here's Curry left open. Steph Curry, another three.
Man.
The 15th of the game for Team USA.
Amazing performance. Trying to figure out ways that Serbia could stay close today. I thought maybe if they spread USA out, executed their offense, make a lot of threes. But Kyrie Irving did damage to that game plan.
Well, the high of any team in this tournament is 128. Brazil hung 128 on Egypt in pool play. One more basket from Team USA, and they will set the new mark. Curry, no, but Andre Drummond will do so. 129 points for Team USA.
This reminds me an awful lot of 92 and 96. That's the scary part. That's why I say, the world, basketball is more popular than ever around the world, and there's some outstanding young international stars. But we are developing, because of this USA basketball team, the LeBrons and the Kobes, the Carmelos, awful lot of young players in high school and college right now want to wear that USA jersey, and that's something else that's changed in the last 8 years.
Well, I mentioned this to you in pool play. I had the chance to chat with Jim Tooley, CEO of USA Basketball, and he highlighted to me that at every level of international play right now, Team USA is the #1 ranked team in the world.
Yeah, and that's because we've started to make the concerted effort to put together teams of guys that want to represent the country. And you see the happiness right now as time runs down.
Now the folks in Madrid coming to their feet in recognition of both of these teams. Serbia, an outstanding effort getting to the championship game. They led this game by 8 points in the first quarter. But Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Team USA led a dynamic, spectacular shooting performance. And Team USA are the gold medal winners at the 2014 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Fran, nice appreciation from both teams here, acknowledging the efforts. And for Team USA, hard as this is to imagine when you think of the domination for Team USA throughout the world, It's the first time Team USA has won consecutive FIBA World Championships.
And we'll keep in mind, for a very long time, we sent college players. That changed in '94. '98, we sent the equivalent of D-League players. 2002, things started to unravel. Coach K took over in 2006. Only loss suffered to Greece. And now a juggernaut.
129-92, Team USA champions of the FIBA World Cup.